Hey everybody, what's up? It's Some Type of Artist, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Metroid. Sorry about the abrupt ending in the last episode. Something just kind of came to my attention at the, out of nowhere, so I had to step away from my, my computer for a few hours. And if my energy or missiles look different, well, it's because I had to go back to the save room and take care of, you know, the savings. I don't know if I was going to come back to this today or not. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get back to playing this awesome game with this awesome Brinstar music. Like, holy cow. Like, I was talking over it, and I feel, well, if you're watching this, you've probably seen Super Metroid before, so you already know all about it, but man, when you come down that elevator in Brinstar, then it's just like, it just kind of like slowly builds up to this nice song. It's just, I don't know. This is one of like the catchier songs in the game, but I still think it's got like a pretty good ambience to it. So this is our new area. This is Brinstar. You can see this little pink area over here. That was where we got the morph ball, actually. So like I was saying before, you have like overlaying parts of each world onto each other. So there's actually going to be quite a few times where we're cutting back and forth through Brinstar later on in the game, because Brinstar gives you a pretty nice amount of things to explore now, but you can't get everything. So we're going to come back to that later. This room over here, well, we can get a missile here now, but this is something we won't be able to get to later. So when you come across here, you get crumbly blocks. And we got a free missile, so I don't really think of this as, you know, a waste or anything. You fall down here, no big deal. You can bomb your way out. Now, here's something I wasn't mentioning before about Super Metroid. When I was talking about the controls at the very beginning of the Let's Play, you actually do have to hold a button down to run. Like, by default, it's B. So if you hold down B here, you can run across them fine. But you have this little obnoxious closing door. So I can't explain how to do it. I'm going to try it once, maybe twice. But if you build up your speed out here, and, well, okay, there's not room to jump here, but I guess if you build up your speed out here on this little platform, here, jump, well, jump good enough on here and go into a morph ball, you can maintain that speed and actually go all the way across and do a little sequence break to get a super missile and a reserve tank and another missile expansion. We'll come back here later. I've never been good at doing what the speedrun community calls the mock ball. So, and it's never really necessary to do anything either. So, don't worry about it if you can ever do it. But it is just something really cool that you can sequence break if you, if you so inclined to. I don't know why I came over here. I think this is just the missile recharge room. This is something people usually skip out on because, you know, you don't really need it. But, hey, we're at 20 missiles. That's another thing I really like about just about every Metroid game in general. When you get your first missile, you always feel, or I always feel, I don't know how everyone else feels, but there's always this feeling like you want to save it for a boss or something, because it's basically a powered-up attack. But then after a while, when you get to a part where you just recharge all of your energy and ammunitions, and you see you have actually quite a few, it feels good. You start to feel a little more liberal with it. Like, hey, let's just use it against these guys now. It's cool. It's fun. It's Metroid. I also really like how Samus kind of... It's not really a hop, but when she's in this ball and she's just constantly rolling, it looks like she's moving and bopping up and down a little bit. I also really like these petals falling down, too. They remind me of, like, Japanese cherry blossoms. So this room here, it's pretty tall and there's a lot of fun stuff we can do. Our main goal right now is to get to this top right part. That's where we're going to face our first, I guess it's a mini boss. But first, go down here. Oh. And, oh, well, let's take care of you, side hopper. Go like that. And if you know how to wall jump, you can get this missile pretty early too. And I would recommend doing that because wall jumping is just, first of all, wall jumping is seriously fun. Because those gray little blocks up there, they basically just have, what do you want? The grapple beam to get across. So you can wait and come back when you get the grapple beam. It's no big deal, but it's very doable now that you can get that missile upgrade. And early in the game, I guess it's fun if you just get as many missiles as you can. Do I just leave the missiles on? Jeez, guy. If you go through that little block, little tiny area where that guy just flew, you can get to a save point, but we're pretty good. And let's see. These guys. These guys you'll want to use missiles on. I also like the little explosion effect that a lot of these enemies have too. I mean, that just goes back to me just really liking the Super Nintendo sound chip. But this is our first enemy, or sub-boss, mini-boss, I don't know what you want to call it. This is the Spore Spawn. And this is some of that unsettling atmospheric energy. Not like a positive atmospheric, it's just kind of like, it's the kind of music that makes you feel like you've just kind of stumbled across like a nest of something. So it's just gonna bounce around like an idiot for a while, so when it opens its mouth, or eye, or I don't know what it is, to see what's going on, just pop it with missiles. You'll notice this door is green down here. I mean, if you don't know, Metroid has different colored doors that indicate how you can open them. So in this game, the blue doors you can all open with, you know, your regular beam. Red doors, you're gonna need missiles to I better watch my ass. I'm losing a lot of health here. I guess that's just not doing this while just concentrating. I'm just talking and everything at the same time. If you spam them, you can try to get them. But the red doors take missiles to open, so 5 missiles will, oh, don't want to waste my missiles. 5 missiles will open those. And the green doors require super missiles to open, which we'll be getting our first one as a prize for defeating this boss. And, alright, turn those off. Hide in the corner. Ugh. I'm kind of scared. Hold on. Oh, get those. Oh, damn it. Yeah, and bosses will also turn darker colors as they weaken. So you can use that as like an indicator for how far you are into the fight. And we did that just in the nick of time. Maybe I will get to saving a little more often than I normally do, because I keep forgetting when you're Let's Playing, you're not just playing a game, you're talking, you're trying to entertain people. It's weird how that room just kind of like loses all of its saturation, and then but the door is still blue. Actually, just gonna, yeah, we're good now. So we'll step down here and you'll fall all the way down this long vertical shaft. And this non-threatening Chozo Satchel will give you a super missile. Super missiles, I'm not actually sure the damage ratios in this game. You can look them up later on. But in my head, super missiles always equal 5 regular missiles to me. Because since my first Metroid games were Prime and Fusion, I'm used to the Prime way of doing things, where the super missiles were your charge combo for the regular beam, and that takes 5 regular missiles to do. So we looped back around here. That was cool. There is an area up here that you'll see. This is the other type of door that you may have noticed. It's a yellow door. We need power bombs to open those, so we can't do anything there just yet. So we'll just continue on down here. And there's just another free missile. We could have gotten that later, but I usually just wait until after I finish the boss, because I don't know, the one where I could wall jump to get it, that's pretty quick to get. but I don't want to usually like coming all the way down here and just to climb back up. And all the way down here is the charge beam though, so it's something to consider. Charge beam basically lets you have a more powerful normal shot. Down here actually is more we can do. However, we do need a power bomb to get it. So we're just gonna have to come back for that later. Also, you can bomb jump like that if you lay a bomb, but you know, everybody knows that. Super missiles aren't nearly as plentiful as regular missiles are. So as you can see, there's also another yellow door up there. That actually leads right back to where we got the morph ball, and there are actually some goodies we can do there, but we're just gonna have to settle for this pipe that takes us to another missile. Oh well. There's actually some pretty strong big side hoppers. Those things with the suction legs that that bounce around. These things. And I wouldn't really recommend going against them this early. And here is a one-way door. Every now and again you'll see a door with a little button on it. So the blue ones you can just open up with a normal beam. But once we go through it, we're not going to be able to get back out. Either this closes, or once you go through a door and come back, it can't come. If you get the wave beam, you can shoot through those walls. Any kind of wall, really. That's what the wave beam does. But, oh, why am I grinding against these? I'm good on everything. And by the way, if you didn't know how to run, that room is going to force you to learn how. I was actually, before I even owned this copy, I was playing this game at a friend's house on the virtual console. That was actually my very first time playing Super Metroid. But, I got stuck in that room for about 20 minutes before I figured out I could run. And we need a power bomb for that. There's a little spot we can... There we go. I always get mixed up where that spot is. But here's another place where we're kind of trapping ourselves until we can either do some advanced maneuvers to get out, or get another type of upgrade that enables us to. The ice beam, in this case, because you can freeze the rippers here, but if you're good at wall jumping, you can also, you know, do that. I don't know if there's probably even bomb jump all the way up there. I'm not the best at bomb jumping in this game, but there is a point in not too far away that I usually like to get an upgrade sooner rather than later with it. Before you go on, get this up here. You might have to wall jump up. And then don't bomb like in the middle here, because that opens up this... Excuse me? Yeah, that opens up a trap floor. There's a little area up here, and you're gonna get your first beam upgrade. And that is the Spazer beam. Spazer. A streamer I like said it like that. I don't know if he was imitating something. But basically you have a wider shot now, so that's pretty cool. Another interesting thing in this game is you can turn these upgrades you get on and off. The beams actually have a purpose to this. If I can remember, I'm going to research it a little more, because I, for the life of me, always forget how to do them. But there are some secret moves you can do with the beams if some of them are turned off. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that. But yeah, you may have noticed the cool music is gone. That's because we're in, I call it lower Brinstar. I've also heard people call it red Brinstar. Also, keep in mind about that, thing back there. Alright, so what you're supposed to do is... There's a super missile block there. And on the map you can see, oh, look at this. It's a place we can go to, but we can't reach it quite yet. You can jump, well, if you time it just right, you can build up speed for a second. And then wall jump off that to get up there. Last time I tried to do that, I did, but I passed up an energy tank down here, and I'm kind of more comfortable having it rather than not having it. Because we take a step down into the elevator into a new area altogether called Norfair. And that's where we're going to get the high jump boots. You see, if you come in here, though, you'll notice something about Norfair. Oh, it's not this room. You can run like this, but that door still blocks you anyway. So, later on, we'll have a speed upgrade that lets us bypass that. This room, actually... it sticks in my mind very well, because I feel like it's like kind of at the center of a bunch of different crossroads that I kept coming back to, because I kept getting confused. Now, it was this room. See, this room, my health is being sapped. It's because the room is too hot. Norfair is like the heated area. Not every room is like super heated, but enough of them are where it's kind of a problem. So we're not going to be spending a whole lot of time here just yet. We're just making a quick pit stop to grab this awesome energy tank, and then to also get the high jump boots so we can go through there. But like I showed you before, we don't really need it. But it is nice to have. Being able to jump higher does have a lot of other, you know, natural advantages than you would think. Thank you, Mr. Chozo. So, as you can see, we jump a whole lot higher now. That's another thing Super Metroid does that I feel like Zero Mission and Fusion didn't. Samus feels more floaty in this game, which I prefer over the heavier kind of feeling you get in the other games. That kind of comes back to, like... Oh, I forgot we have to kill this guy to open that door. Every now and again, Metroid will throw, like, a Zelda thing at you, where you have to kill all the enemies in the room to continue. What was I saying? Samus definitely is a little floatier compared to our other 2D games in this one, and I kind of like that, because that's just, it gives me more time to react, I guess. I mean, if you've seen some of my other Let's Plays, you'll know that I prefer Sonic over the original Mario Brothers, and part of that reason is because I feel like I have more control, because Sonic is a little floatier. But that's just me. I've also heard some people that don't like Super Metroid as much as the other games, that the reason they don't like it, or one of the reasons they don't like it, is because of how floaty Samus is. And I guess to each their own. Now this door here, there's going to be a couple doors, or even if you kill all the enemies in the area, this door is going to remain gray and locked. A couple of the doors in this game will remain that way until the boss of an area is destroyed. And our reward in there is actually going to be another energy tank. So in a way, it's kind of like getting a heart container after beating a boss in Zelda. There's something over here. Can we get it now? I forget. I kind of forget. Yeah, you can't like spam bombs to do a bigger bomb jump. Kind of got to get like a rhythm down. Can I do it? If you're good, you can also jump, and as you're ascending, turn into a ball. Oh, we need a power bomb though. So I guess it doesn't really matter. This hole down here is the secret we want. So as we're getting deeper and deeper into Brinstar, we're coming close to the boss. So, oh, that was something I was saying in the other episode. So remember when we remember when we first awoken the space pirates after we got the morph ball and they were gray, and our little gun could take them out no problem? Well, then they got tougher and turned green when we were coming down to Brinstar, and the shot wouldn't work. We had to use the missile. But now, since we have the Spazer Beam, it was enough to damage those green ones. And that's just something else I really love in Super Metroid, where you'll see space pirates every now and again increase in strength. And I actually am going to save, because... Or no, I missed the save point. This is just a recharge room. Alright, well, I'm going to take that. I still think we're going to be okay, but I was a little caught off guard about how much damage I took against the Spore Spawn. I don't want to be too silly. Yeah, before bosses, there's going to be this eye monster on the door. When it opens its eyes, you gotta attack it. And then here's Kraid. The middle child of the Metroid universe. Kraid is in the original Metroid. Whoop, that missed. Kraid is in the original Metroid game, and he is in, well, obviously, the Zero Mission remake, because it's based off of Metroid 1. And then he is also in Super Metroid, however, that's kinda it. Yeah, I don't know, I feel kind of bad, because, like, it's you know, the original game, it's like, it's Kraid and Ridley, you know, they're like the duo, but I don't know, like, I feel like since Prime, it's just been the Ridley show, and god, that was easy. Got pretty lucky we popped some super missiles in there. And yeah, he goes down pretty easy too. You know, he's intimidating because of the size and everything, but once you know what you're doing, it's like, Kraid, who cares? And we got the Varia suit as our reward, which turns us into this cool orange color that I'm definitely more comfortable with. Awesome. But yeah, he just kind of, you know, disappears from history, from the Metroid history. Like, Ridley keeps coming back, no real explanations given there, except for a few space pirate logs in Prime. But, like, Kraid's never really mentioned or brought back or referenced. It's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of as, like, relevant as the other two bosses in this game. And one of them actually comes back in Metroid Other M, or so I hear. I found a copy of Metroid Other M, and despite all the, you know, the infamy of how bad it is, I still kind of want to give it a shot myself, so at some point in time I'll try Metroid Other M out on my own time. But, yeah, apparently one of those bosses, one of the bosses in this game is in Other M as, like, a post-game bonus boss, I guess, in addition to all the other Super Metroid callbacks. And these guys, just get them all on you, and then bomb them all off. These guys are super annoying, but there is our energy tank up here, since that door became unlocked. Alright guys, I think that's enough for this episode. In the next one, we are going to go deeper down into Norfair. Since we got the Varia suit, that means we are able to enter heated areas without taking damage. So, have a good one everybody, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.